Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we will dive deep into the absolute nuclear explosion that just happened at Forrester Creations between Hope Logan and Steffy Forrester, and the massive fallout that is about to tear the Logan and Forrester families apart forever. The showdown we have all been desperately waiting for finally erupted, and let me tell you, it was a masterclass in soap opera tension. We are talking about decades of generational trauma, deep-seated resentment, and ruthless corporate warfare boiling over into one single, suffocating room. Hope Logan strutted into the main office at Forrester Creations, slammed her demands on the mahogany table, and threatened to walk if she did not get a concrete timeline for her Hope for the Future collection. And what did Steffy Forrester do? She did not flinch. She did not blink. She threw the ultimate power move right back in Hope's face. That cliffhanger, that singular chilling moment where Steffy asked, or what, is going to go down in bold in the beautiful history. It is the exact moment the Forrester and Logan alliance officially died. And you won't believe what happens next, because Hope's defection to Logan fashion is going to change the entire landscape of this show. Let's set the stage and really analyze the psychology of this room, because the tension was thick enough to cut with a Forrester-branded butter knife. Steffy Forrester was already in a spectacularly foul mood when Hope made her grand, theatrical entrance. The Forrester CEO had spent the entire morning griping to Ridge Forrester, venting her absolute disgust that Hope is nothing but a self-absorbed brat who should be kissing the ground she walks on just to have a desk in that building. Ridge, as always, tried to play the useless peacemaker. But let's be real for a second. Ridge's peacemaking skills are about as effective as a paper umbrella in a Category 5 hurricane. Steffy literally laughed right in his face. She purred with that lethal Forrester arrogance that Hope is absolutely nothing without the Forrester machine behind her. In Steffy's mind, the woman would never have the spine to actually walk away. Many fans think Steffy is being an unreasonable tyrant here, but I have to defend her actions. I think Steffy is completely justified. She views Hope as a perpetual victim, a woman who needs the Forrester name and Forrester money to legitimize her entire existence. Steffy's resentment isn't just about the quarterly numbers. It is about decades of watching Logans infiltrate her family and demand equal footing. She views Hope's line not as a legitimate business asset, but as a glorified charity case funded by Forrester money just to keep Brooke Logan happy. Steffy has survived motorcycle crashes, kidnappings, and the absolute terror of Sheila Carter. She is not going to be intimidated by a blonde in a pastel suit demanding unearned respect. But here is where Hope made the most catastrophic tactical error of her entire life. Cue Hope, floating and fresh from a Logan family pep rally where she was absolutely intoxicated on her own potential. Her own husband, Liam Spencer, had just been begging her to defect, painting this glorious, glittering picture of a new empire. Her aunt Katie Logan was practically promising her the keys to a kingdom called Hope. Liam, playing the ultimate supportive husband and strategic manipulator, called her admission tempting. Katie twisted the knife by reminding Hope of how close the Logan sisters have always been, subtly weaponizing family loyalty against the Forresters. Hope, completely drunk on the validation of her family, made the worst decision a woman can make in the corporate world. She believed her own hype while one boss was whining and dining her, completely forgetting that Steffy is the one who actually signs her paychecks. She marched straight into Forrester Creations, closed that office door, and issued a blind ultimatum. I have to break down Hope's demands, because the sheer audacity is mind-blowing. She demanded a timeline for her collection. She stood there, looking at the CEO and the lead designer, and informed Steffy and Ridge that her line is a massive moneymaker. She essentially threatened them, saying that if she is not valued at Forrester Creations, it will be their devastating loss, and she needs a hard commitment right now, or else. Can you believe it? Hope actually thought she held the winning hand. She thought that by bringing up her past sales and threatening to take her toys and go home, Steffy would suddenly cower, apologize, and hand over a launch date. Hope fundamentally misunderstands the predator she is dealing with. And that brings us to the line of the decade. Steffy did not blink. Steffy did not even uncross her legs. She sat there in her CEO chair, radiating absolute terrifying power, looked Hope Logan dead in the face, and delivered the 9 little words that ended the marriage of Forrester and the Logans forever. Or what? What are you gonna do? Guys, the match is lit. The bridge is burning to ash. Hope Logan just dared the wrong queen, and she is about to pay the ultimate price. Make no mistake, darlings. A "what are you going to do" from Steffy Forrester is not a genuine inquiry. It is not an invitation to negotiate a better contract. It is a guillotine dropping. Steffi has been waiting for a legitimate, business-justified excuse to shelve the Hope for the Future line since the very day she clawed back her CEO chair. And Hope, in her infinite naivete, just handed her that excuse on a silver platter in the most theatrical way possible. Let's compare this to past events, because the history here is so incredibly rich. Think back to 5, even 10 years ago, when Steffi and Hope were constantly battling over Liam Spencer. Steffi has always been the aggressive, proactive fighter, while Hope has historically played the moralistic, passive victim waiting to be chosen. Now, that exact dynamic has shifted to the corporate boardroom, but the core psychology remains exactly the same. Steffi is still the apex predator, and Hope is still relying on the people around her to build her up and validate her worth. But in business, there is no Liam to swoop in and save Hope from a bad quarterly report. Steffi is going to put the line on ice. The collection will be killed. The pink slip will be issued with a signature Steffi smirk and a crisp designer envelope. I can already picture the scene playing out next week, and it is going to be incredibly brutal. Picture this. Steffi, dressed in head-to-toe Forrester white, looking like an absolute angel of corporate death, sliding the termination page. Hope sitting across from her, her pristine makeup unable to hide the dawning horror on her face, her voice trembling as she realizes about 3 seconds too late that she just walked into a knife fight wielding a dull butter knife. And Ridge? Oh, Ridge will be in the corner, pretending to read emails on his phone because he saw this train wreck coming from a mile away and could not, or rather would not, stop it. This is the tragic, infuriating irony of Ridge Forrester. The kingmaker who anointed Hope as a fashion prodigy at 15 is about to be the exact same man who watches her walk out the door at 30-something. And he is going to do absolutely nothing about it because his biological daughter is the one holding the axe. Ridge's cowardice when it comes to mediating between his wives and his daughters is a legacy trait at this point. He will watch Hope's heart break, and he will stay silent. I am calling it right now. Hope is going to have to clean out her office in the slowest, most agonizingly humiliating walk of shame this building has staged since Quinn Forrester was last shown the door. Remember Quinn's exit? The absolute disgrace of it all? Hope's exit is going to be worse, because it will be highly public. The cameras will be out. The fashion press will be circling like hungry vultures. By the time Hope's designer heels hit the Los Angeles parking lot, every single paparazzi in the city will know that the Forrester crown has eaten one of its own. But here is the massive plot twist that Steffi might not be fully prepared for. Hope is not going to be unemployed for long. In fact, she won't even be unemployed for an hour. Waiting at home with chilled champagne and a corner office is Liam Spencer. Let's talk about Liam, because his manipulation in this entire scenario is fascinating and borderline sinister. Liam has been pitching this defection so hard his lips are chapped. He saw this coming. Bill Spencer saw this coming. Katie Logan practically drew the treasure map. The Logan family has been laying this runway brick by glittering brick for weeks. They knew Steffi would eventually push Hope out, and they capitalized on Hope's emotional vulnerability. The second Steffi lifts that executioner's blade, Hope Logan is going to land at the Logan Fashion House with a multi-million-dollar contract that her husband negotiated, a brand new line that her aunt is bankrolling, and a scathing press release that her father-in-law, Dollar Bill Spencer, is personally rewriting from his executive suite. And let's dive into Katie Logan's psyche for a moment, because this is brilliant. Katie is stepping out of Brooke's shadow in the most aggressive way possible. For decades, Katie has been the overlooked Logan sister, the one who had to fight for Bill's scraps while Brooke was the undisputed star. Remember when Katie took over Spencer Publications? She has that ruthless CEO blood in her veins too, even if she hides it behind a sweeter exterior than Bill. Now, Katie is building an empire, and she needs a crown jewel. The new line will simply be called Hope. Hope will be the face, the muse, the ultimate moneymaker. The brand recognition that Hope brings, her massive customer base, the juicy family scandal, the made-for-tabloid storyline, all of it walks across town with her in one perfectly accessorized exodus. Logan Fashion stops being Katie's cute little pet project and becomes a lethal, existential threat to Forrester Creations the very moment Hope's signature dries on that new contract. The PR war that is about to erupt is going to be legendary. And the absolute cherry on this venomous little sundae, Hope is going to walk right into the Logan offices and hug her Aunt Katie while the Forresters are still sitting in their boardroom trying to figure out how to spin the firing to the press. Steffi will catch wind of the new Logan line by morning. Ridge will get a frantic phone call from public relations. The press will get a conveniently leaked photo of Hope and Liam celebrating. By the time the Forresters issue their carefully crafted, sterile statement about creative differences and wishing Hope the best in her future endeavors, Logan will already have a massive, glowing billboard on Sunset Boulevard. The Forresters are going to look slow, reactionary, and completely out of touch. But amidst all this corporate maneuvering and fashion house warfare, there is one person who is going to lose absolutely everything, and that is Brooke Logan. Brooke is the ultimate tragic figure in this storyline. The Logan Forrester war has been building for weeks, and Brooke has been the woman caught squarely in the crossfire, desperately trying to keep the peace between her sister Katie and her husband Ridge. Hope crossing enemy lines is the literal pin pulled out of that grenade. Brooke is about to watch her entire life implode. Ridge is going to look at his wife and no longer see the love of his life. He is going to see the mother of the woman who is currently actively trying to steal his customers and destroy his family's legacy. He will blame Brooke for raising a corporate traitor. On the flip side, Brooke is going to look at Ridge and realize that her daughter just chose Liam, Katie, and Bill over her own mother's peace of mind. Then comes the dinner table conversation that absolutely nobody is ready for. I can see it now, Brooke, with tears in her eyes, pleading with Hope to come back, to apologize, to fix this before it destroys their blended family. And Hope, hardened by the corporate betrayal, looking her mother dead in the eye and telling her that this is not personal, this is just business. Ridge will slam his napkin on the table in absolute disgust and storm out, leaving Brooke sobbing in the dining room. We saw this exact same dynamic play out when Thomas was obsessing over Hope and Ridge refused to see the truth. Brooke always chooses her daughter, and Ridge always chooses his. They are biologically incapable of remaining neutral, and their marriage cannot survive when their children are at war. But here is the absolute kicker as we brace for the impact. The or what wasn't just a question. It was the firing shot of a brand new era. Hope Logan didn't hear it yet, but Steffy Forrester knew it the second the words left her perfectly glossed lips. The bridge is already smoking. Logan is hiring. The war is officially on. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you Team Steffy for protecting her family's company from an entitled employee? Or are you Team Hope for finally standing up to a toxic boss and knowing her worth? Personally, I think Hope is walking into a massive trap set by her own family, but I cannot wait to watch the drama unfold. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update.